In this video, I'm going to show you how to download a stock data from Yahoo Finance directly to Python, and then you can choose to save it as a CSV file. Okay, so to begin with, let's open Jupyter Notebook here. Let's open it from our terminal. I'll type Jupyter Notebook, then hit enter. So it is going to open in my web browser. Okay, so when it opens, we are going to click on new and then open a new notebook here. Right, so if you don't have the Yahoo Finance library, okay, you have to first install it. Okay, you can use pip install this library. Okay, sorry, Yahoo Finance. Okay, Yahoo Finance is in here, so you can install it with this code. Okay, so since I have already installed this particular library, I'm going to delete this. Right, so after you are done installing that library, you have to import the library. Okay, so let's import the Yahoo Finance library. Okay, let's import it as, let's say, YF. Okay, so after we are importing, we need pandas to read our data set. Okay, so let's import pandas as PD. Right, then let's hit Control Enter to run it. So after it is done running, we need to import our stock data. So with this particular tutorial, I'm going to show you how to import Bitcoin data. Okay, and I'll also show you how to import other stocks too. Right, so let's call this particular data, let's assign it to Bitcoin data. All right, sorry, this should be slash, this should be underscore Bitcoin data. And then we are going to import this data from the Yahoo Finance library. That's the YF. Okay, YF dot. We are going to download it, and then each stock has its own pair or abbreviation. You can call it that. Okay, so for Bitcoin, it is BTC dash USD. All right. If you want the data for, let's say, gold. Okay, for gold it is gold is GC equals F. That is for gold futures. Okay, if you want let's say stock like oil is CL equals F. Okay, that's for oil futures. All right, for crude oil futures. Okay, if you want stock like Ethereum is ETH, then USD. Okay, you can use that. And then maybe if you want another stock like, let's say, S&P 500, then you can use this particular thing, that is the GSPC for S&P 500 data. But in this tutorial, we are going to use Bitcoin. Okay, BTC USD. All right. Okay, so this is the data we want. So when do we want it? What is the time frame? So we are going to say they should start from let's say 2020 January. It's the 1st January. Okay, then it should end at sorry, that should be this year. Right, and then let's say it should end at 2024. Let's say February 1st. Okay, right, so this is the time we've specified for our data. Sorry, there should be something here. All right. So when we are done, let's run this particular code. Let's run this particular code. And then you see it is downloading the Bitcoin data here. Okay. So you wait for, yes. So you can see that it is done downloading. Okay. So let's see whether it is indeed downloaded. Okay. So we can view a portion of the data. What is the name of the data? Bitcoin data. Let's view the first 5 rows of the data, and let's see. So you can see that you have your data here. Okay, you have the date, the open, high, low, close, adjusted close, price, and then the volume. Okay, so now you have downloaded the data. Okay, you have to save it as a CSV file. So to save the data as a CSV file, what do you need? Because I taught that in the previous video. Okay, so you just use to CSV. Okay, so Bitcoin data dot to CSV. Okay, so what name should we give to the data that we are saving as a CSV file? So let's say we want to name the data Bitcoin data dot CSV. Okay, so to make it unique from this one, let's make this be a capital B. All right, great. So let's close this and then hit Control Enter. So now we've saved this particular data that we just imported from Yahoo Finance and then saved it as a CSV file here. So when you go to home here, you are going to see your data here, Bitcoin data. Okay, so you can choose to select it and then download it as a CSV file. Okay, all right. So maybe you want to uh, import that particular data and then do some maybe visualization or something. So let's assign it to data and then read it with pandas pd dot read csv. Now what is the name? It is bitcoin dot csv. Okay, right. Then let's close it. I'll show you something here, but let's continue. I will come back to it later. Okay, so now let's view a portion of this particular data by using what? Data.head, and see if indeed we have our data. So you can see that you have your data here. Okay, so you see that there is some difference here. Look at this one. Look at the date and then the open price here, and look at the date and then the open price here. So with this particular one, the date has been included as one of the columns. Okay, so in order to, maybe most of time series data, okay, you have to set the date as an index. Okay, so to set the date as an index, you have to specify it here. Okay, index column, and then what is the index column? Is the date. Okay, the date, right. So when you run this particular one and then you view the first 5 rows, you are going to see that the date has been set as the index. Okay, great. Now let's continue. Let's say we want to plot to see the trend of maybe the adjusted close price or the close price. Okay, so we need a particular library called the matplotlib. Okay, so let's import it, matplotlib dot pyplot as, let's say, plt, right? So this is the library we need. So since let's run this particular library. Great. All right, so now let's plot the close price, this particular close price, to see the trend of the close price. Okay, Okay, so what we need is to specify the figure size. Okay, we are going to say plt dot figure, and then what is the figure size? What is the figure size? So I'm going to say with the figure size, I'm going to say 10 inches for the width, and then let's say 6 inches for the height. Okay, right. And then when we are done, what data are we plotting? So let's plt dot plot, and then you see we named the data, we assigned the particular data to data here. Okay, so this is data, and which column of the data are we assigning? It is what? The close price. See the same name here, you shouldn't use small letters as the close, else you will get an error. All right, so let's close this. All right, so we want to label this particular plot as, let's say, Bitcoin trend. Okay, you can use any name, and then you close it. All right, so let's plot the title. Let's say we say plt dot title. Let's plot the title. um my sorry my Yahoo Finance data. Like, yeah, you can use any title. I'm just using this particular title for editorial purposes. And then when you are done, let's plot the X labels and then the Y labels. Okay, we have to specify the names of the X labels and then the Y labels. It is optional though, but it will make the graph very nice. So plt dot X label. Then what X label should we use is the date. Okay, the X label should be the date. Let's close this. Right, and let's plot. Oh, sorry, this should be plt. And then let's plot the Y label. Let me just copy this. Plot Y label, and then the Y label is what? The close price. Okay, so let's call it price in US dollars. Don't forget that it is in US dollars, but it is not compulsory. But in order to know that indeed the prices are in US dollars, you can just use this one. Okay, so when we are done, since we specify the label here, Bitcoin trend. Okay, let's allow the legend here, product legend. So it is going to show you. You see, when you see the trend, you are going to see that, okay, so this particular line is the Bitcoin trend or something like that. Okay, so we are done. So let's see how the plot looks like by using plot.show. Okay, so let's run this particular code and see how the trend looks like. Let me see. Oh, sorry, there's an error here. Title. Okay, title. So let's run it again. Okay, so now you can see the graph here. Okay, the plot here. You can see the legend here, Bitcoin trend as we specified it here. Okay, now you see that the date here is like black. You see, like you can't see like the date here. So to see the date here, you have to specify it here. Okay, we have to pass the date here. So we are going to use pass date. Okay, we are going to set it to true. Okay, so when you use this particular thing, I'm sorry, where is this error coming from? or past dates. It's not date, past dates. See, it's not only one date. So run it, and then let's run everything again. And then when you run this one, you are going to see that the date has been arranged nicely. Okay, so when your date looks like dark and you can't see them, you have to use this particular code, past dates equals true. You have to set them to true. Okay, so thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this.